Aurelio Gallo was with NLC for over 10 years. The decision by the State Administrative Tribunal to cancel his teaching registration has sparked further inquiries into his conduct. Supermodel Bridget Malcolm outed herself as the victim of grooming behaviour by Gallo. This included him asking for intimate pictures, suggesting a dinner date, and expressing frustration when she did not accept a Skype request. The SAT found that Gallo was indeed communicating unprofessionally with the one-time Victoria's Secret model while she was a student and shortly after she graduated. Until this story broke, Gallo was working as the head of performing arts at an independent Christian college in Queensland. Authorities there suspended his licence on Monday. Dr. Marie Parry said the complaints were deeply upsetting. Support and assistance has been provided for Bridget Malcolm. Mahalia, ECU News. Good evening and welcome to ECU News. I'm Mahalia Bowles. For some, October 12 is still a raw memory. For journalist Mark Reddings, he's still processing how he survived and others didn't. Mark spoke with Kate Forrester. Police Assistant Commissioner Paul Steele has been appointed the independent monitor for Perth's Crown Casino. Earlier this year, Crown Casino was found involved in money laundering and named unfit to hold a licence. The Royal Commission gave Crown 2 years to clean up its act. It also had 59 recommendations, including the appointment of an independent monitor. Assistant Commissioner Steele will implement a remediation plan and provide reports to the Racing and Gaming Commission. He will have the power to fine anyone not complying up to $50,000. Minister Tony Booty says Paul Steele's previous role as an organised crime detective will be useful. Tributes have flowed in, including NASA paying tribute with an image of a cosmic rose taken with their Spitzer space telescope. NAPLAN tests children's literacy and numeracy, but teachers say children aren't being given time to learn enough to do well.
We see students for 4 or maybe 5 periods each week, and we simply, with everything that's required from the Australian curriculum, do not have the time to actually be teaching a lot of functional grammar, and that's really impacting on their writing.
According to the Australian Education Research Organisation, student writing scores are consistently lower than expected of their year level. The research has found that the majority of Year 9 students are only able to use punctuation to the level of a competent Year 3, with correct capital letters and full stops. This was a question from a past NAPLAN test. If you chose the first answer, you'd be right.
Emojis.
Exactly.
Like, it's used so much nowadays.
Like, even if she says something funny, I just put the emoji, she knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
And there is no need to use exclamation marks
Exactly.
anymore, or
Yeah, full stop,
descriptive
period,
words or
point.
adjectives.
I've gotten to the point where I can just put a bunch of emojis in a sentence, everyone can understand that.
Communicating persuasively is a skill every person needs, used in situations such as a job interview.
A lot of the time teachers don't seem to see the value, and they say we don't have time to do that in class, and I think that we need to actually make the time. We need to make the time to read, and we need to show students the value of that, and that will have a flow-on effect.
The research also found teachers need support, access to good resources and opportunities to build their confidence in teaching complex literacy skills. Mahalia Bowles, ECU News. Today, the Reserve Bank raised the cash rate target by 0.25 of a percentage point. This move takes the RBA's cash rate target to 2.85%, up from a record low of 0.1% at the start of May this year. It's the highest it's been since May 2013. Federal Treasurer Jim Chalmers spoke earlier today. He said this is another difficult day for Australians under the pump. The actions of the young driver along with his passengers may seem trivial, but according to the Road Safety Commission, 408 people that were seriously injured or killed on WA roads in recent years weren't wearing a seatbelt. The inquiry was told that despite the majority of juvenile detainees having some form of disability, their needs are not being assessed, and it's contributing to their relentless cycle through Banksia Hill. A cold front is entering WA southwest, bringing with it low temperatures over the next few days. Meanwhile, a high-pressure system in the Tasman Sea is directing a warm airstream across the east coast. Now to the nation's capitals. Darwin continues to heat up with a top of 33 degrees. Now to basketball, the Cairns Taipans sealed victory overnight to move to the top of the NBL standings. The Taipans defeated Melbourne United by 4 points, led by 26 from Keanu Pinder.
Scott and Pinder and Cairns in front.
In the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks edged out the Philadelphia 76ers in a close scrap this morning. Giannis Antetokounmpo dominated in the effort with 21 points and 13 rebounds.
So some situations you sadly can't get out of, and that's why this is very important to discuss.
It's perhaps one of the most important life lessons young people can learn, but now consent is going to be taught in WA schools as well.
It's not only to keep them safe, to keep girls and boys in our community safe, but also to address the underlying attitudes that unfortunately have led to a situation in Australia where we have high rates of sexual violence across the country.
WA is heading out of this world with a new deep space antenna. The $70 million project is being built in Eunorcia, 2 hours northeast of Perth.